Shalom everyone and welcome to the holy city of Jerusalem. I hope you enjoy the following story. In the late 1800s, a vagabond arrived at an inn in the city of Sons. The innkeeper did what he could to accommodate, and noticing that the man wore very tattered clothing, he thought he might give him a donation. So he tried to go ahead and give him some money, but the man refused. Thought maybe he didn't offer enough, so he dug in his pocket for some more. The man says, "There's no point trying to give me anything. I'm not going to take anything." So the man's now curious. He says, "You want to know why I won't take anything? I'll tell you." He says, "You see, many years ago, I had this young girl, an orphan girl that worked in my household. And at some point, someone stole a grand amount of money from our home, and we assumed that it was her. So we accused her, and she was taken in by the authorities over here, and she was beaten severely to admit the crime, but she never admitted it. And she came home, but she was never the same. And within a couple of weeks, she succumbed to her beatings, and she actually died." And he said it was soon found out that she wasn't the one that stole it, obviously, and this guilt weighed on me. And I thought, how do I go ahead and I make amends for this? So I traveled to the great Rabbi Meir of Premishlan, and I told him the whole story and how can I go ahead and make things better. He says, well, there's 3 ways to go ahead and achieve a rectification. First is you suffer death, but you will merit the world to come. The second is that for 3 years you will have a terrible, terrible illness that will afflict you. And the third is for 3 years you go ahead and you become a vagabond. This man can't believe what he's hearing. He leaves hoping to think it over. Within a week he starts falling very, very sick. So much so that it seems like he's at the end. He quickly sends some money with the messenger and a note to the rabbi, thinking that the rabbi had gone ahead and chosen for him the sickness of being ill. So he receives from the messenger a reply that the rabbi will go ahead and pray on his behalf. And what do you know, within a few weeks, the man is up and running again. And he directly goes to the rabbi and he says, "I'm ready to accept whatever trouble, whatever punishment I must in order to correct whatever I've done wrong." So he says, "Well, look, you've already, gone so far, so why go ahead and suffer death? And you already suffered illness, so why do that? Be a vagabond." So he says, "This is what you'll do. For the next 3 years, you'll go ahead and you'll be out as a vagabond. You'll wear tattered clothing. You won't go ahead and beg for food or money, but if someone out of their compassion chooses to give it to you, you're welcome to accept it. You're not allowed to ride in carriages or wagons." And just like that, the man sets off. He's allowed to return once a year just to the outskirts of the city, send a messenger just to see that all his business is in order. But Rabbi Meir says, "Don't worry, it'll be in order." And so the vagabond tells the innkeeper, and that is why I'm here, because it's been 2 years, and I've received word that the great Rabbi Meir of Premishlan has fallen dead. May his memory be a blessing. And now I still have a year to go on my vow, and I don't quite know what to do. But I heard here in the city of Sons, there's a very righteous man called the Divrei Chaim, and I figured I would go and see him. So the innkeeper's now super intrigued. He says, "You know what? I'll go with you." So they go and they see this holy man, and as soon as they arrive in his door, the man raises his head and he says, "No need to speak. I want you to go back home via the route of Premishlan, visit the gravesite of Reb Meir, and tell him that the Divrei Chaim says that he has more than atoned for what he did wrong, and that he should be allowed to return home, even though it's only been 2 years." And such was the case. And the man went on to obviously live a more upright and righteous life based on the guidance of his righteous sages. Good Shabbos.